Welcome to Silicon Valley Asian Business Talk.
So my name is Melvin, and I run a startup that focuses on helping founders to operate their companies. So essentially, we serve as an operations manager to take care of all the compliance, their financial operations like accounting and bookkeeping, as well as the people operations like payroll, recruiting. The goal is to essentially simplify the process of running a company for the founder so that they can save time, keep their focus on the really strategic aspect, and leave all the operational work to our platform. So we built a business in Singapore, and we're now in the US. So the company in Singapore is called Starboard, but the product we're going to launch in the US, or we're in the process of launching with some early customers already, is called Stellar.
Discussion topic: building startup. What kind of people to hire and when?
I think you started out the question by asking how do you scale, and tons of just go online, Google, ask ChatGPT, and you have countless ideas and tips on how to scale. I guess for me, the key focus is on people, right? If you build a great team, if you bring on the right people on board to work alongside you, I think that's the first step. Build a great team, bring on the right people, and the people will build the business. So my focus, my priority is always on just having a great team. Makes it a lot enjoyable as well. Building a business from scratch, especially in an industry that I had like zero experience in previously. It's challenging. It takes time. It's hard work, and lots of learnings. And it's only fun when you enjoy working with the people around you. And so for me, I'm really thankful. All the members of my leadership team are just amazing people. I enjoy working with them. So no matter how hard things are or how challenging things are, I'm having fun every day, almost
That's
every day.
great. Yeah, thank you, Melvin. That's a very good point. You talk about it's all about people, scaling people. Have you, had this kind of a experience or challenges of deciding when to scale up people, when to invest people, whether it's ready or not ready, and what's the reason, if you do face some kind of a struggles, on those issues, why? And also, how do you address those kind of issues? It's almost like a left foot, right foot. Left foot is the demand from the business. The right foot is the people to manage the business. How do you balance these two foot?
Yeah. Well, it's a real balancing act. I don't think there's a real playbook, right? Everyone's journey is going to be so different because we're talking about people, right? Sometimes you bring on the right person, even before you really need that person, or before you can even actually afford to bring on that person. But because it's the right person, the chemistry is right, the fit is right, the business just, 3x or 5x or 10x. And later on, it pays for it, right? And sometimes you really need that person. You need somebody to fill that role. You have the money to hire the person to fill that role. But if it's the wrong person, it's going to cause complications down the road as well. So it's a very tricky, it's a real balancing act. And I think I would say that the best advice I can give to a founder is do two things, right? One is be as logical as possible, plan ahead, and write down what you need somebody to do. You can only scale when you scale yourself, right? So write down what help you need. What's your ideal profile for the next person to join the team? What problems does a person need to solve? I think that's the most logical and the easiest thing to think about. But I would say go a bit deeper in thinking about what kind of values you want a person to bring to the team. Think about your own values, because you can bring the person the right skill set. But the person comes in with values that are very contrary to yours. They move at a different pace. They have different expectations or different, bars for transparency and authenticity. Then it would cause conflict. Either it will cause conflict between the way you're working, or it would, it would cause the company to just go in a very different direction and or evolve a different culture that at the end of the day you may not even enjoy, right? So to give you a very practical example, if you, I think of myself as, or rather, what I value a lot is authenticity and honesty, right? People ask me something, I'll just give them, the most straight up answer, right? I don't think there's nothing to hide. I speak my mind freely, right? Because I think it's important for people to know exactly how I think, how I work. And when there's some people I brought on board who don't share that value, and after a while it became a little hard, affected the culture, and and it was just painful, right? So I would say, there's a logical aspect of bringing people on board, and that is what you need them to do, what kind of roles. Also logically, you want to figure out what kind of values you have, and what kind of values you hope that they bring into the organization. That's one. But then there's the other dimension. The other dimension, is kind of rely on your gut. Sometimes you meet, you meet a really great potential partner, potential coworker, and you can't really afford the person, or you don't really know what the person can come in and do, but you just know this person's a great person. The moment they come on board, they would just make magic happen, right? In those moments, even if the logical side of things don't seem to make sense, you can take the risk, bring that person on board, and see what happens, right? And I don't know, that's like, everyone's going to have their own principles and rules for running a business. Some people take a very methodical approach. I try to rely on both. But I found personally, for me in this particular venture, I think every member of my current leadership team has been brought on like that.
When you say brought on like that, is like based upon your personal gut feelings and rather than very rational, logical analysis. Is that what you mean?
I'd say it's both, right? Both. I don't. So, well, right now I'm thinking of 7 different roles, and so it's hard for me. It's like maybe I should think of one, right? But there's a pattern. Typically, I think, okay, I need help in this area, right? I've started a bit of product design, for example, and then I realized, okay, I'm not going to do product design in the long term. I need to do other things, and so I need to bring somebody on board to do product design. But if I don't find the right person, then I just keep doing what I need to do as long as possible, rather than settle for somebody who may not be the right fit.
Okay.
And then when you find the right person, sometimes I find the right person, I'm like, okay, I don't think we really need this person to come in and play this particular role right now. That's a great person. I'd rather have the person on the team and figure out, what he or she can do for the company with me in the long term. And, when we bring the person on board, or we bring the person on board, we soon figure out, oh, this is where the person is adding value.
Thank you for watching.